PixelPlace has a vast and interesting community behind it, with everyone having a unique personality. But without being on the site for a long time, it's hard to understand the inside jokes surrounding these people. Like, why do people keep talking about this Renko guy? Who's Owmince? And why is he always on the server? Why did Soldier ban me for botting in Europe for like 10 hours? And I can never win a player or guild war because of some guys called Klops and WhithoutArms. Are they cheating? And could someone please tell me who VAT19 is? Well, let's answer that. But first, let's get some things out of the way if you're a little confused. PixelPlace. PixelPlace is a clone of r/place, a website where you can place pixels on a canvas. PixelPlace is different from r/place by having no cooldown, less moderation, and other canvases. But bottom line, PixelPlace is as if r/place and 4chan had a baby. /7, or 7, is the main canvas of PixelPlace. It takes the shape of the world map and can also be called Pixel World War. It's the most popular canvas. /8, or 8, is a more civilized canvas people go to for a higher class experience. People can claim and control land in this mode. It's much more serious with its rules, and it has more of an RP focus. Player/guild wars. A player war is an event that happens every 15 minutes on 7. Every 15 minutes a set spot for a small square activates. It is then the player's job to fight over the square by trying to place as many pixels in it as possible. Getting the most pixels placed in a short amount of time rewards you with points and gold. Also, your profile or guild icon will show in that square until someone gets it. Guild wars are the same, but reward guild points, and pixels of players in your guild will also combine at the end. Botting. Using any botting software to automatically place pixels without the human need to do anything. Bottom line, these things suck. If you think otherwise, go cry about it. I don't know. Moderator. There are many different types of moderators. Global, chat, 8. They all do the same thing, with more or less power given to them. Their main job is to make sure people are following the rules. If that's in chat or on the canvas, you get the point.
I sorta don't feel like playing
PixelPlace
today.
Golden 1. For the first player we are going to talk about, I feel like it's good to set a baseline that most players in this video are either around or will surpass. Someone that might not be the most popular, but popular enough to give an understanding of who will be on this list. They found out about it from looking up r/place clones? Check. Got popular from being active on MVP? Check. Moderator? Check. In the distant year 2022, Golden became a player that most people knew about. In this year, on the MVP canvas, Golden charted on an adventure of trying to land hog as much land as possible. It might have taken a bit, but sooner or later, Canada and Greenland would both be under his sole control. The vast amount of pixels these two landmasses had were huge.
That's quite big.
And Golden controlled them both. It wasn't that easy though. In fact, it was pretty hard. You need a ton of free time and determination to try and keep all that land to yourself. But Golden dug in his heels and he did it. And he would continue to do it for half a year. However, it turned out to be too much. Who would have thought checking in on a pixelated map game every day for months would affect your mental health? Golden was under too much stress, and the obligation to keep it alive was too much. So, in the same year, he left. That was it. After he left, and with no one protecting his empire, it fell. After this point, without much purpose on PixelPlace, he didn't really contribute that much. Only dedicated players from 2022-ish will remember him. And, well, that's sad, isn't it? He did so much, but now new players don't even know who he is. Not only does Golden show what it means to be an important PixelPlace player, but it also is a reminder of why I felt like it was important to make this video. Anyways, who's next?
If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight. Sun Tzu said that, and I'd say he knows a little more about fighting than you do, pal, because he invented it. And then he perfected it so that no living man could best him in the Ring of Honor.
Soldier. Soldier is a player that has a lot of achievements on this website. He is someone that has practiced so much on 8 to have flawless skill on MVP. He has become so good, in fact, it has been rumored he has made a book called The Art of War that is just about him fighting in PixelPlace. However, it's never been released nor seen by the community, so its credibility is questionable. He has a lot of community appearances as well as making him well known on 8 and 7. He became so well known, he was able to reach top 3 of followers and had number 1 of no botted pixels in 2021 to 2022.
But wait! There's more!
It seems Soldier has also become well known in the botting community. Well, no, not for making bots, but rather for helping the bot devs and botting lots of giant maps for people. Not much better, even with, in my opinion, a stain on his reputation. It shouldn't shadow his sheer determination he put into the game. With over 4,000 hours in the game, Soldier firmly stays as some of the most known people in PixelPlace.
Soldier.
And for a good reason. His fighting in the 8 community, interactions, time sync into the game, and even the botting, this player has cemented himself as someone you will frequently hear about. With such a dedicated player, it would be hard to find anyone else that could even match his likeness. Maybe only a handful of players even come to mind. So, who might that be?
Women.
Maribel. Maribel is a woman. What, do I need to explain myself further? Well, to be somewhat fair, her interesting personality helped her become very memorable with a lot of people.
This is 4K! How did they get you in 4K?
She also has over 258 followers and a modest 1.5 million pixels placed. But overall, yeah, it's just because she's a girl. You know, there's almost another play that almost made it onto the list for this same quality Maribel had. But due to some restrictions, I had to go with the more popular version. That doesn't mean that there aren't any other popular people on the list known for a niche detail about them. In fact,
you like kissing boys, don't you? You like kissing girls, don't you? Ooh, you will wear thigh highs and cuddle men.
Femboy. Damn, Femboy is old as fuck. The thing that is most interesting about Femboy is his age. 5 years, 5 months, and 24 days ago, Femboy decided to join PixelPlace. All the way back in 2018. What even happened in 2018?
I can see you through the window.
Oh, cool. His age makes him number 9 on the veteran leaderboard. The reason the other people on that list are not here is because of inactivity. Even though he might not be seen in chat, Femboy can be seen on the canvas. Botting in Antarctica. Femboy's main characteristic is how old they are, but what if there was a player that was also quite old but had way more to say about them? Well,
how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
Spirals. A very old player that decided to join in 2019 after missing out on r/place. Back in these early days, there wasn't even a 7, the main map people go on nowadays. Back then there was a numerous amount of maps without a real main map. The map Spirals decided to go on is rumored to inspire future official maps. Spirals may have directly influenced the future of the game by playing on things like his English RP with Kazali. Spirals was also there during the beginning of 7, possibly having the oldest screenshots of the map, even before Owmince started his time-lapse of them. For whatever reason, he left and he didn't come back. Day after day, week after week, he never logged on. Only years later, finally returned to the site, and he decided to stay for a while. When he did come back, nobody knew who he was. Maybe back then he might have been a pioneer of the canvas, but now, he was just a nobody. Spirals has been able to regain his once lost popularity over time. His secret? Being chill. I guess it's that easy. But is it possible to be known for the opposite? What if you're a total jerk to everyone and known for being an overall bad person to hang around? Can you still become as well known? Well, as a matter of fact. SorryTerror. SorryTerror kinda sucks. Now, I would like to clarify that's the community's interpretation and not my own. But I also don't like him. With the role of chat moderator, you would expect a tad more professionalism. However, this person acts like they accidentally got the chat moderator role one day and they just ran with it. They themselves lean into this role of being this bad guy that most people dislike. He proclaims himself to be the best mod and reminds people that, yes, he is indeed a mod. He has also done many things that just make people naturally dislike him. He's part of a dotting guild, he's been banned in the past, and he's just not fun to talk to. You can think of him as more of an opposite to most people on this list. Though sometimes I do worry about him taking the role of this bad guy might be fun, but also taxing on the person themselves. So, I hope nobody takes the hate too seriously. There are many things I can say about him, but I won't. Not only because I don't like him, but because he never responded to my questions. Like, he said he was up for it. I don't know. He just didn't. He did respond, but he just didn't say anything. I don't know why. A similar situation almost happened with another player I talked to. Luckily, I still managed to get their answers. Symmettry. Symmettry had a simple start to PixelPlace. Back then he joined from his friends sending him a simple link to the site, and back then he protected whatever he felt like, which at the time was the trans flag. When he became more invested in PixelPlace, instead of investing time, he decided to invest in money. With a Nitro Boost badge and being in the top 5 of True Generosity leaderboard, he is also famous for owning the Coin Islands for multiple months, islands that can only be placed on if you pay for it with gold. He's become quite chill in the chat, talking to whoever wants to, but not religiously. Some final things he did was botting. Why does this always happen? Symmettry has also made some notable bots, one of them being ErieBot. He is also known for multi-botting. I think it's time to talk about someone that actually responded to me properly. Actually, they were the first to do so.
Oh, for 5 minutes. Could you not be yourself? For 5 minutes!
Arm's start into PixelPlace was driven by nostalgia for r/place, and this clone's perceived safety compared to other clones. Initially, he poured his efforts into defending the Texas flag, leading him to create the Texas Defense Guild. In these early days, Arms was highly disruptive, drawing offensive symbols and frequently getting banned, even breaking his own record by being disabled 4 times in a single day. Realizing the need for a change in tactics, Arms decided to form another guild, named Arms. It began with 13 members, but he noticed the inactivity caused by his guildmates was a roadblock in his ascent up the leaderboard. Still determined, he ejected members, even going to the extreme of disbanding and restarting the guild. Through this period, Klops emerged as a prime competitor, and Arm tried to strategize his gameplay around Klops' activity, often playing when he wasn't on. As he pushed forward, Arm's ambitions grew. His dream was to dethrone Klops. His effort to do so did lead to some impressive benefits for him, as within months, he had over 170 followers, was in the top 20 of the global guild leaderboard, and was appointed a chat moderator in just 2 weeks. Oh, and there's some guy called Fire X Dragon, but he's just a copy, don't worry about it. Not like he's important at all, or it's not like I forgot to add him to the video or something, that would be great. For now though, Klops still remains supreme. Ah shit, did I forget about Klops?
Larry, what the hell are you doing?
Larry!
Larry, you can't just... Oh,
Larry! Oh, are you alright? How did...
Larry! Righto.
Klops. After finding and playing the second r/place event, he wanted more. And after some internet searching, he found Drew's video on it, and decided to go check it out.
That is terrifying.
Klops liked the idea of there being 0 cooldown and the new features that were implemented at the time, which were player/guild wars. After trying them out and liking them, he decided to be a bit more dedicated, and even made a guild just so he could get more points while in a guild war. Klops just so happened to be really good at this. Again and again, he would beat bigger and bigger guilds than him. Void, Turk, Nuts, all beaten. And people started to notice. Klops liked seeing people in the chat question how this random nobody was beating them by so much. He wouldn't be a nobody for much longer. Quite contrary to the popular belief, Klops wasn't a no-life sweat who spent all their time on these wars. Instead, he would do them whenever he had free time during breaks. The 15-minute cooldown made it easy for him to do some work for 15 minutes and then come back to fight in the war. Him doing this casually every day lifted him quickly to the top of the leaderboard, beating many notable guilds. For now, he is and will remain supreme as the god of winning guild/player wars. No man or machine has even been close to dethroning him. Even guilds with thousands of players don't get close. Klops is the king, and we grovel at his feet. Klops is one of the only few players that deserve to be in the S tier. And, to be honest, only a few people on this list can confidently say that they are. However, I believe there is a level above S, a spot reserved only for one. excluding a special case for another person.
No cap. Y'all gotta get yourself one of these motherfuckers, man. This shit go crazy, bro. He kinda chill. He can be an asshole sometimes, but he do be kinda chillin' though.
Renko. Renko. One of the true players who deserves to be on this list. A god that only rivals the inventor of PixelPlace himself. People make the ranking SS just for Renko. He is our savior. He is the true and one prophet to save us all. Now, if you believe any of that, I have a guild just for you. Yes, Renko is popular enough to have his own guild named after him, and an account called Renko, for his bank account, whatever that means. He has reached the top follower spot in the game, reaching 1,455 followers, and someone that has placed over 30 million pixels in the 2 years he's been on the site. It would be forgivable if you have to sit there and take in how popular this guy really is. One question that comes to mind is how? How on earth did one person get so famous in this small community? He was chill. No, seriously, in general, I'm more probably known for being very active, and having an attitude that would probably work well with PixelPlace. Like, it's that easy? Now, other than just being cool, what else did he do? Well, 30 million pixels just doesn't come out of thin air. Renko was on a lot, and played MVP due to how many bots there were on 7. So even if you didn't know about Renko, it wouldn't be long until you at least saw his name in the chat. Renko. What a guy! Klops might have the highest player score, but Renko has the highest love in the community. Both these guys accomplished their own achievement by getting to number 1 in something, but there happens to be another prestigious leaderboard a player can climb. 5. 5 is, generally, the maximum amount of objects our human mind can imagine at once. Only 5. In most people's mind, only a dinner table with 5 seats is possible, meaning one with about 50 is practically impossible. The chairs become only blurry blobs in your mind. 50 is the milestone of subscribers I had a bit ago. I am a tiny channel on YouTube. 41,900 YouTube channels have a sub count at or above 1 million. It looks like I'm lacking, doesn't it? Well, every day people try their hand at it, and that leads you to about 720,000 hours of videos being uploaded every day. Sadly for you, if you tried to watch them all, you would come a bit short, as the average person only lives for 657,000 hours. Just short. That too means you wouldn't have the time to read over the 20 million books in the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. However, that doesn't stop the population as a whole from trying, like in another case, listening to the music album Thriller by Michael Jackson. Some estimates go up to 66 million. Are you still struggling to think of those 5 chairs? Finally, this is the number the player Akane has placed in PixelPlace. This number is one he had to fight tooth and nail for against. Around the 50 million mark, he got into fierce competition with another player. In fact, they nearly passed Akane for months. Only recently has Akane returned to bounce back and take back their throne. Man, and who would have thought this player was originally just some edgy teen that started out drawing swastikas. Oh, also, there's some guy called CaptainWinky, but he's just a copy, don't worry about it. Okay, fine, quick detour real quick. I can make a joke about missing a few people, but if I miss this guy, I feel like people would be coming for my head. This is a person that I had to squeeze in the last minute for this video, yet one that I would feel terrible for not including. There are, as a matter of fact, many people I would love to add, yet won't, due to making this video longer than it already is. Stick around to the end though if you want to see what I did with all the people I left out. In any case, I absolutely refused to let this player slip by. And so did they, apparently, because in the time it's taken me to research, write, record, and edit the majority of this video, they have had a huge resurgence in activity. Remember how I made that whole thing for Akane a few seconds ago? Well, guess what? Captain has crushed that number, with his current PixelPlace count being, well, whatever I put on screen. Anything I say about it will be dramatically different by the time this finally comes out anyway. This player is not only number 1 on the PixelPlace leaderboard, also number 1 in the True Generosity leaderboard as well. He also took a shot at the Veteran leaderboard, and only months away from Femboy. Like, the only reason why Femboy is on here in the first place was because of the length he's been on the site. Like, what's going on? Now, if we're gonna get into some basic stuff, he made a notable bot called KittenBot. What, did you think all those pixels were genuine? No. And as a matter of fact, he's also well versed in programming, like user scripts, Python, and TypeScript. And hold on, I'm sorry. Am I reading this correctly? A tech startup executive? I don't even know what that means, but it's probably impressive. Yeah, pretty freaking unique, alright. The final thing I wanted to say is that I won't dox the guy or anything, but let's just say, in comparison to the average age of people that use the site, Captain is definitely an outlier. Okay, let's pretend Akane still has the most pixels placed, and let's return before this whole thing happened. But who was this other player that pushed Akane to their limit, indirectly or not, causing such a huge accomplishment? Deviousname. I don't like bots. They are annoying, preventing anything that you want from being built. They're ugly, with so many square images on the map ruining it. It's so lazy, outlasting players for hours if need be. And the worst part of it all? I hate how widely accepted it is in PixelPlace community. Now, with that being said, it should really show how cool of a player Deviousname is, because this is a player solely known in the botting community. Starting humbly, he found PixelPlace by trying to find an r/place clone, and liking one in particular for its pixel placing speed and performance. He decided to make his own thing, something to call his own, an empire called Dirt, started in California. Simple, but unique. It was something cool compared to most of the trash plastered on the site. Well, that was until that trash came for him. A bot ruined his own empire in seconds. What he had made was removed from a bot. He couldn't even do anything about it. One person making something slightly complex has no hopes of going up against a bot that just stays in a place for an hour. So what did Deviousname do? He truly became the embodiment of, if you can't beat him, join him. He researched a way to make his own bot, and soon, he made one. Whenever a bot would try and disrupt his empire, he would counterbot. And while using criticism from the community, he would absolutely wreck anything that tried to go up against him. Over time, he would use his knowledge to make more interesting things than just expanding some bots. He made an Among Us bot that he used to cover anything he deemed to be bad, so basically most of it. Another notable bot that really just shows off his creativity is that replicates the game of life. Deviousname is different from just another botter. He is something special, a botter that I actually respect. He also is working on his own game, so that's kinda cool. Deviousname is definitely an example of a botter that I don't dislike, but also someone that I respect. In my eyes, if you are actively botting, following the rules or not, I already look lower at you. Now, a good example of this type of botter that I wouldn't respect would just have to be
That was sports.
bot rights. Bot rights is a bot account that constantly bots on PixelPlace. What makes them notable is their lack of any personality other than being the bot rights guy. Bot rights seem to be a term for people that use bots so that bots can have more freedom. And bot rights, more like get these bots out of my site. Hiya! Ghost, an individual who ventured to create their own version of r/place. Initially reserved, this person, after placing almost 10 million pixels, has gradually made a name for themselves. They can be found regularly on PixelPlace and chat, which is good because many seem to enjoy their company, finding them fun to be around, which contributes to their growing variety of 112 followers. Despite facing challenges from naysayers, they choose to move forward without giving them much thought. Overall, a cool guy, and someone you actually have a good likelihood of actually seeing around. I wonder if we have any other nice people on the list. As is becoming a trend at this point, he started by looking up some clones. At the time he started his search, PixelPlace was a bit different, advertising itself as a clone with no cooldown, which is an aspect Kazali really enjoyed. When Kazali joined, he remembers PixelPlace in a very different state than it is today. Back then it was very simplistic, no chat, usernames, and many of the updates had not been added at this point. Kazali back then played on the main canvas 459, and they had the opportunity to play with other players, like Spirals. His early activity on the site helped him in becoming one of the first 2 mods when the chat was first introduced. Similarly to how Spiral's activity might have led to the creation of 8, Kazali could be credited with the idea and creation of the popular Canvas 7. Year after year, he continued playing the game and helping around. Well, maybe recently you might have a bit of trouble seeing him around, but don't worry about it. Kazali is a very respectable person in the community, being known for helping around and contributing to the creation of the site itself. I'm so glad a person like this can make the list. Now let's see, who's next?
Now let's see, gamers. Who's coming up?
That19. You know what, I'm just gonna link LOL19 and Solar19 with him. And to get straight to the point, there's a joke inside the community that these people are all the same person. Now, normally multi-accounting is not allowed, so something like this would go against the rules. So, are they the same person? No. Now, normally keeping a joke running is funny and everything, but this on its own can honestly be confusing to new players. So no, Solar, Vat, and LOL are different people. The only thing that links them together in any way is the 19 at the end of their names, which is a common number to put at the end of your name anyways. I'm sorry to put this joke to sleep, but it must be done. If you are at all curious, Solar is the most popular and active out of them all, and has popularity not surrounding the joke. Hundai. Hundai is a player recommended by multiple people on this list. Though he might see himself as more non-important, multiple people would have to disagree with that. With 22 million pixels placed and over 150 followers, you can't fly under the radar that easily.
Oh man, why would I say that?
However, for this humble player, his early days were rifled with edgy teen energy, leading at some point in his career of getting a ban. However, after getting a second chance, he used it to be much more of a respectable person, for PixelPlace standards. Even with his large pixel count, Hundai finds it difficult most times to bring himself to the game, meaning this might be a player only written in the wiki, but for now, you might be able to find him every now and then. And if you do, you are sure to have a good time talking to him. You Dondere, you.
It gets better, and we will look at his ass in a second.
But I want it now!
Yebro. Yebro first found out about PixelPlace from Drew Donnell, but not his videos, but rather in his Discord server.
That's not real. There's no way. This is definitely not accurate.
At first, he didn't even play on 7 or 8 at the time, instead sticking to the Drew canvas. In fact, he would stay there longer than most people would think. An entire year of not playing on either 7 or 8, he finally made the choice, and he chose 8. Yebro has been the founder of creating the guild The Lazy, in the top 82, owning USOA, a top 17 guild, and co-founding Chat, a very new and popular guild in the top 16 of all guilds. He was even the one to design the Chat art canvas, a popular alternative canvas to 7, with some impressive state dedications to MVP, founder of important guilds, and a person people like to chat with. Yebro has certainly founded himself as cool. Looking through the people in here, I found 2 that seem very similar in many ways, so I thought it would be funny if I had them right next to each other.
Look, Pim, I know it's our job to help this guy and everything, but I think this guy's a lost cause. He's obviously made up his mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?
SalX is another player who found out about the site because of Drew.
The crew.
Let's give him a round of applause. Wow, is that like the 3rd player now? Someone should really be keeping a track of this. Also, he was another player that got popular because of 8. And I guess he also gained a portion of his popularity for being a mod. Wow, good for him. He also became popular for expanding a guild that for a while controlled most of MVP. His time did have a bit of trouble as he would have to jump over, and I quote, annoying fucks. This was of course before he got tired of all the people joining his guild, so he just decided to kick them all out. Quite a unique personality this guy has. Well, apparently it was the good type of unique, as he has over 200 followers, and his own cult called Saxism, a guild that rivals Piaoism. Again, SalX has a unique take on these other guilds, calling them ripoffs. If you haven't noticed already, SalX's personality and attitude is one not seen very much in everyday life, but one that I argue is a personality that encompasses a lot of PixelPlace players. Everything about him might make him seem like this annoying edgy teen, but talking to him, he seems like a cool guy. He is our very own case study for what it means to be a PixelPlace player.
9 out of 10, IGN.
If you were paying attention during that whole thing, you might have heard another name I mentioned. Another player that too has his own cult called Piaoism, the ripoff in SalX's opinion. Piao. Piao is a notable figure within the PixelPlace community, recognized for both individual contributions and leadership of influence guilds. Piao's journey on PixelPlace began after stumbling upon a video by Drew Donnell. Beyond random artistic endeavors, Piao's notoriety surged from frequenting the MVP canvas. Here, connections with notable members of the community, guild members, moderators, and others, were established. However, Piao's most significant claim to fame remains the establishment and leadership of Volt, a top 20 guild in the game. Let's go. Come on, who's next?
Hello, Adventurer Dragon Killer 75. Hello, Dragon D's Nuts. Dragon D's. Hello, Adventurer. Sug my dick. Hello, Fill my Kraken. Hello, Penis. You just went with penis? Oh, wow.
JCMS, or Jimmy Can't Make Shit, or just Simon, or even SoManyNames, how fitting, found PixelPlace from trying to find an r/place clone. Simon, unlike most players, had trouble fitting into these two niches people tend to go into the game, those being 7 and 8. He, of course, tried out 7, but hated getting dotting to death. He tried to go to 8, but with the lack of players, it was a terrible experience and he couldn't even get anywhere. After realizing how bad he truly was at 8, he went back to 7 and decided to do something that made him have more fun.
Nanomachine, son.
He decided to bot. He started botting a lot. Multi-botting so much and getting banned so many times. His current name on PixelPlace is SoManyNames. After being an annoying player by multi-accounting so much, he finally decided to lay back. And funny enough, chat with Owmince, the developer, which then led him to be a global mod. It seems Owmince has a unique way of choosing who becomes a moderator. Maybe I should try. I don't know, it might be fun. Most of Simon's time after this point was spent filling his new role as a global mod, organizing events, investigating drama, and making MVP more enjoyable. A multi-bot account turned into a responsible global mod. What a story. Cactus. This player in PixelPlace is no stranger to making a mark in the virtual world. They hold the impressive title of being the 3rd VIP to achieve such a status entirely through their own efforts, without shelling out real money for it. What sets them apart, however, is their impactful role in resurrecting communism through MVP, orchestrating a full-scale revival of USSR. They not only participated in FULC, as they've been at the helm of CSNA for several months. Known for creating and leading mega guilds on MVP, their dominance on MVP has been a persistent force, stretching across months, leaving an incredible mark on the virtual landscape of PixelPlace. Then again, the next person is way cooler anyway, so who cares?
Yo, so which day y'all trying to go to Six Flags?
Monday works for me.
Monday sounds good.
Yeah, Monday works.
Same for me. Alright, well I guess we'll go.
It works for me too.
Who is that? Is that Keith?
What?
There's no way that's Keith.
Guys, it is Keith.
Oh snap, it's Keith. What's up, bro?
Yo, he's back. Where have you been, bro? Wait.
No! You can't keep up and leaving us like this. Do you not fuck with us or something, bro? Just tell us now. Do you not fuck with us? Cause we can remove you from the group chat. Keith, come back! Come back!
IceyCream. Icy is and has been inactive for some time now, and for one of the oldest players that you might still find around now, other than Femboy, but he's just bot, so we don't like Femboy. That's very unfortunate. For many of the people written on this list, you have a good chance of either seeing them or see other people talk about them. But for Icy, that might not be the case for very long. But why would such an active community member decide now would be the time to think about leaving? Well, that needs some background information. r/place clone. Back then, Icy played on the original V1 canvas, a time where the community was smaller and acted much differently than it does now. Less chaotic drawings, not so rude players, and best of all, the lack of bots. A cleaner, more well-organized version of 7 that we have today. A view that skeptics can just put up to nostalgia for their old ways. But there's some truth in the statement. Bots hadn't become a thing yet due to how new it was. People were nicer because they knew everyone, and because of that, people decided on interesting looking art that made 7 we have today look disgusting. The time he spent on 8 was a lot. maybe not as good or active as some players, but he still made sure to come to it to have some fun. Well, that was of course until he realized how inactive 8 truly was, deciding to switch back to 7. But even though 7 might have had the players, it wasn't the same as it used to be. It was a place that made placing pixels feel even more insignificant than it had ever been. It wasn't fun anymore. The only thing preventing him from leaving at this point was the tab that he happens to leave open every day. It's the thing that stops him from forgetting about it completely. The only reason why he even leaves it open is because of the chat. I guess in that case, we better hope that the chat stays entertaining. I wonder what happens once that too ceases to be so. Sag. But for happier news, it's now time to talk about the final person, someone who is almost unforgettable, a person many people have been waiting for, and at this point probably wondering if I somehow forgot to add them to the list. A person I thought was so important, I didn't even have the courage to interview them for this video. That's right, it's me. I'm the most important person on the site. You all can suck it. Owmince. Do you think Owmince stays in the playlist because he too lives in fear of what he's created? It's not too hard to think like this. The community of PixelPlace is one that not many people can like. Their comedy is nothing more than a bunch of edgy teens with just take a look at the canvas at any time of the day. And Owmince let it happen. In some way or another, he is responsible for it. People getting DDoSed, botting racist stuff, and there are some people that really show how scummy they really are in PixelPlace. It wouldn't be hard to imagine that if he were to make another update that people again hate him for, why would he continue fostering such a community that won't even respect him? Well, I truly think that PixelPlace is one of the best r/place clones out there. It's one of the most moderated, it has some of the best features, and it's owned by the beloved Owmince. I'm also going to give a shout out to all the mods for popularity of this bullshit. But other than that, I'm pretty happy. Of course, a lot of mods aren't active r/players, but he still did a great job. I know that Owmince actually really likes working on it, / owning it. He cares a lot about it. Hey, thanks Owmince. You know, without you, I couldn't have made 2 of my videos so far. Thanks for making the game. Thanks for building up such a, once you get to know them, a nice community. And you know, this is where I'm supposed to talk about who you are and what you did, but come on. If I wanted to do that, I might as well tell the entire history of PixelPlace. Well, it's also kind of funny how the only thing we ever said to each other was me asking to be unbanned that one time. Okay, video over now. Hello, test. If you're hearing this, then you've reached the end of the video, which also means this part is no longer scripted. So, if everything is working correctly, you should be able to see some names going by. Oh, look at that one. Oh, wow, look at that one. This is how I'm trying to fix all the people I missed, so no one is legally allowed to be mad at me anymore. That's how it works. Also, in one of my posts that I made, I think the second one, about the video, I asked if anyone thought if they were popular enough for them to contact me, I would have added them in. So, you know, if you're upset that anyone didn't make it, you get to be upset at them, and not me. Though I really am upset that I couldn't add people like Krev and stuff like that. You know, those are just honest mistakes on my part, but it is what it is. I would like to thank everyone that did respond to me. Most of them did, and it really did help. I am curious what would have happened if I didn't talk to anyone, what it would be like now, but it really did help me get a overall understanding. Another thing that, if you haven't noticed by now, is that the lemons, maybe you've seen 1 or 2 or maybe 3 of them, but yes, there are exactly 19 lemons in the video. Can you find them all? Yeah. So if you can find them, then I don't know. You're cool. You're certified. You get the certified cool badge. But yeah, this video so far has been pretty difficult on my part. It's taken a while too, but it was still fun working on it and stuff. But you know, this is probably the longest I've worked on a video for. And, you know, in that time, I got to learn a lot about the people, and specifically about MVP. Because before this, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't even know Renko got popular because of it. but apparently a lot of people did. I've never played it a single time, so I don't actually know that much. I dropped my mic. Now normally people say to like the video and subscribe or everything, and I won't, because I think that's cringe poo-poo caca, but you know, if you really want to, you can follow me on PixelPlace. It's just Cubestar. You can follow me, and I can get, if I can get to 30 followers, that would be epic. One thing about the transitions between each player, I'm really bad at transitions, but also there is a meme channel in the PixelPlace Discord, which was part of my inspiration, though the memes there are terrible, don't look at them. But it was inspiration to introduce each player, so that's where that came from. After this, I'm gonna do a little change with my channel. Most main videos are going to be like documentary type stuff like this and The Line and that one girl meet video. And then all like gameplay stuff like TF2 and CSGO, those will be turned into shorts, because I think it's better like that. Alright, well, it looks like we're running out of people here, so I'm gonna cut it off here.